The Blackfyre Rebellion. You would have probably heard some references to this rebellion during some of the episodes in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, especially with Egg singing his little song about how Baelor and Maekar took down someone called Daemon Blackfyre, and when he was play fighting pretending he was taking down the rebellion. Now recently it has been confirmed that there will be flashbacks during A Night of the Seven Kingdoms about the Blackfyre Rebellion. And also with the rumours of Henry Cavill possibly being Daemon Blackfyre, which I made a discussion video about it in my previous video, so check that out. But yeah. So for a lot of people, when they were watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, they may not know about the Blackfyre Rebellion and who Daemon Blackfyre actually is, and how big of an impact Daemon Blackfyre is and the whole rebellion is towards Baelor and Maekar. So I thought, why not just make a quick video summarising the first rebellion before the events of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So yeah. If I do make any type of mistakes in this video, correct me in the comments below. But yeah, enough yapping. Let's just get into it. So basically, years after House of the Dragon or the Dance of the Dragon's Civil War, and before the events of the Game of Thrones, there was another Targaryen civil war called the Blackfyre Rebellion. Now, let's just give some context here. It begins with one of the worst kings in Westeros of all time, Aegon IV Targaryen, also known as Aegon the Unworthy. He was a corrupt, gluttonous, spiteful, and just an overall horrible king and horrible person, and he is very famous for his countless mistresses, who over time he fathered many illegitimate children, known as the Great Bastards. But on his deathbed, on his last final moments, Aegon made a crazy, catastrophic decision. He basically legitimized every single one of his bastards he had fathered with many other women, which is absolutely absurd. And one of those bastards was someone called Daemon Waters. Now, Waters is another name for a bastard, which I forgot what region it is. Similar to how Jon Snow is called Snow. In the north, they call it Snow. I forgot where Daemon Waters was born, but yeah. But basically, he was a warrior admired across the realm. Aegon had gifted him the ancestral Valyrian steel sword Blackfyre, the very blade that Aegon the Conqueror himself had used in his conquest, and also the same exact sword that's been passed through every single king. Now, after being legitimized, Daemon took the name of that sword and made it his own surname, Daemon Blackfyre. So that was his new name, Daemon Blackfyre. Now suddenly, Westeros had a huge problem on their hands. The rightful king was Aegon's actual true-born son, Daemon II Targaryen, Baelor and Maekar's father, just for some context. Daemon, he was an intelligent and diplomatic man. He had brought Dawn peacefully into the Seven Kingdoms through marriage, something that none of the other previous Targaryens had actually achieved before, not even Aegon the Conqueror. And just due to this, some of the lords of Westeros, some of the high nobles, saw him as a weak man. Others even whispered he wasn't actually Aegon IV's true son. Now the reason they saw him as weak was because a lot of people in Westeros do not like Dawn at all, and they also see Daemon II as like a nerd. He was very bookish. He wasn't really like a proper manly warrior compared to other kings that had been before him. So yeah. However, Daemon on the other hand, the bastard son, Daemon Blackfyre, he looked like a warrior. He looked like a real warrior. He was charismatic, he was powerful, he was a great fighter, and he even had the sword Blackfyre, which made his claim to be king even more stronger, as that sword is literally meant for the actual kings of the realm. A lot of people even considered Daemon Blackfyre to be like another Aegon the Conqueror, like another great person. Now, years later, Daemon had decided to actually declare himself the true king of Westeros and caused a huge rebellion. The whole of Westeros, the whole realm, had split into two. A lot of lords betrayed Daemon and decided to side with Daemon Blackfyre. However, the other half stayed loyal to Daemon being the true king. So many great houses chose sides, actual brothers fought brothers, fathers fought sons, and what followed was years of brutal civil war between the Targaryen dynasty. Now, Daemon Blackfyre, during his rebellion, he was also being supported by another one of Aegon IV's bastards called Aegor Rivers, or also known as Bittersteel. So those two were the main people of the Blackfyre rebellion. Now, King Daemon had Baelor and Maekar, and also with them was Daemon Blackfyre's other bastard brother called Brynden Rivers, or also known as Bloodraven, who actually decided to side with King Daemon instead of Blackfyre. Now, the final battle of the rebellion was called the Battle of the Red Grass Field. It was a very famous battle where the whole field started off as really bright green grass and it just turned red, which is where you hear Aegon, or Egg, sing about the whole Blackfyre rebellion when he was sitting on the tree. Now, this is also where Baelor and Maekar also got their name, because Maekar was basically holding off Daemon Blackfyre until Baelor had the right timing to actually strike Daemon. And not only that, Brynden Rivers' Bloodraven was also waiting with Baelor to also make a final attack. Now, Daemon Blackfyre was leading his rebellion, leading his fight at the very front. He was literally fighting beside his whole army. Literally, victory seemed so possible until one decisive moment changed everything. While he was battling Maekar's men and also Baelor's men, when Baelor had actually came on, Brynden Rivers' Bloodraven had ordered a whole rain of arrows. He literally fired so many arrows, it was raining arrows, and Daemon had actually been caught in the crossfire and was literally shot down. Now, I can't lie, there was a lot of other significant moments that happened during this final battle on the Red Grass Field, but I can't lie, I'm not going to mention it in this video. I might do a proper deep dive into the whole rebellion in another video, but yeah, just for some clarification, I am missing some significant bits, but I thought I'd just give the overall basics of what actually happened. After Daemon had actually got shot down and killed, it was not actually over. This was just the first of many other rebellions yet to come. Daemon's surviving heirs and army fled across the narrow sea, and those Blackfyre supporters formed the Golden Company, the same company we see in Game of Thrones, basically an army of sellswords. Now, they all swore to reclaim the Iron Throne and to put a Blackfyre on that throne. And over the next coming years, several more Blackfyre rebellions had erupted, which with each one weakening House Targaryen after the next, and also reminding the realm of a dangerous truth. The only people that could actually destroy House Targaryen was themselves, the Blackfyres, who were actually technically still Targaryens after the actions of Aegon IV. So yeah, I can't lie, this was just a very quick and simple basic overall summary of the Blackfyre rebellion, which we will see happen in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms through flashbacks, and to also help you who didn't understand what Egg was talking about in his songs and when he was play fighting. So yeah, I hope this did cover it. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope this helped, and yeah.